Friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be painting some furniture that will be going into my booth. I wanted to bring y'all along with me and show you how I get it done. I got this 6-drawer side-by-side pine dresser for free. It just needed a little cleaning. It was in really good shape. I'm taking out all the drawers and cleaning the inside shell as well, as it was pretty dusty. I've got some TSP cleaner. I am using gloves to keep my hands protected, and I'm cleaning the inside and the outside of the piece thoroughly. I'm going to be putting on different hardware, so I need to fill these old hardware holes. I'm using Durham's water putty. It's very easy to use, it's not smelly, and dries quickly. A powder form you mix with water turns into a putty. I spread it in to fill the holes, and I ended up letting that dry for several hours, coming back and doing a second coat to make sure I did not have any indentions where my old holes were. The top of this piece is not actual wood, it had a laminate covering. I'm using 220 grit sandpaper and doing a light scuff sand across the top to give it more tooth and let the paint stick to it better. Then I do a quick sanding over my holes just to make sure everything is nice and smooth. Wipe that down one more time to remove the dust, and then I'm using my Zinsser shellac, which is a spray oil-based sealer, to cover up my holes. That's going to make sure I get the smoothest finish when I'm putting on my paint. Today I'll be spraying DIY clay-based paint. I'm using an HVLP sprayer from Harbor Freight. I begin by putting the filter in and screwing the cup on top. I need to make sure I strain my paint as it is thick, and I don't want any clumps down in my filter. Once I have the hopper 3/4 of the way full, I add 1/4 part water. So it's a 3-part paint to 1 part water. I stir it up well, add the rest of my water, and then I shake it literally 100 times. I've brought my sprayer outside. I've attached a quick release nozzle for my air compressor hose. This is not included with the HVLP, so you'll need that separately if you want to use it. Now it's got a few adjustments on here. There's a nozzle here in the front. You can loosen and tighten it. When you loosen it, you can turn this piece horizontally, and this is going to adjust your spray pattern, whether it flows horizontally or vertically. This knob here is going to adjust your spray pattern, whether it's more of a fan spray or a jet spray. Fan, back to jet. This nozzle here is going to adjust the amount of paint that feeds down into your compressor. And this nozzle here is going to adjust the amount of air that feeds up and through the compressor. So you'll play around with it a little bit. Takes a little bit of messing around, but once you get it, it's super easy to use. And don't forget to remove the little button here at the top. This keeps the paint from spilling out, but if you don't remove it, it doesn't allow the paint cup to breathe the air down through the sprayer, and you will get a splotchy spray. This is the air compressor I use. I've had great luck with it. It's a Husky 20-gallon air compressor. Once I have everything set up, it is time to spray. This very first pass, you can see I have a little bit of sputtering. It got a little splotchy. I think I had a little something stuck in there. I gave it a couple of really good shakes, tried again, and everything started flowing smoothly. Usually I'll do that first pass on the plastic, but I guess I was feeling a little confident. No worries though, we're looking good. And notice as I'm going for my second pass, I am overlapping my paint about, halfway. That avoids any streaking and light spots as I'm spraying. Here you see me adjust that nozzle in the front, so I go from a vertical to a horizontal spray pattern. You want to make sure your paint cup on top is always facing up, as this is a gravity fed sprayer, so that paint needs to be able to flow downwards through the cup to get your best spray pattern. I'm also working on this little handmade shelving unit today as well. Look how nice and easy I can paint the inside of these shelves using my sprayer. If I would have brushed these, that would have taken hours. After one coat of paint, you can still see some of the wood grain, and I've got a little bit of bleed through. That's when the wood tannins or oils come through the paint and show yellowing in your white paint. I do not believe it was oils, as I cleaned this piece really well. I just think some of those wood tannins popped through. So I grabbed that Zinsser spray shellac again and covered where the bleed through happened. Let that dry really well and gave the whole piece a second coat. As you can see, that took care of the problem, and now I've got a nice crisp white. Using some 220 grit sandpaper on my orbital sander, I'm hitting the edges and the corners, giving this piece a distressed farmhouse look. I do the same thing on the smaller shelving unit as well. These pieces super matte, so I'm actually using Sweet Pickins top coat, which is my favorite matte top coat. You can spray it through a sprayer as well. You don't need to water it down at all. I do keep a separate sprayer for my top coats to make sure I'm not getting any paint in my clear top coat. Doing the same method, and I end up doing 4 coats on the top of this dresser, 3 coats on the body. I want to make sure it is very well protected. Notice on this coat I am going back and forth the other way on top of the dresser in a kind of a crosshatch pattern. I go long ways and then I go short ways. That's going to keep from any visible top coat lines showing through. And then I do give it a good 220 grit sand right before that last coat, but that's all the sanding I do between coats. To clean it out, I fill the hopper up with water and spray that all the way through. Use the little included brushes to clean out the filter and let it dry. Once the top coats are dry overnight, I'm adding some new hardware. I like this hardware from Amazon. I'll link it down below because the screws go in through the front. It saves a ton of a headache from trying to add the screws in through the back. Measure it out with a tape measure. Drill little pilot holes with my drill, and then I hand screw in the screws so I don't strip them out or ruin the color on them. I decided to number the drawers. I love numbered drawers. This dresser ended up selling fast, so I think my market here in Kansas likes them as well. I'm using the JRV numbers from the letter number trio pack, DIY layered chocolate paint, and a 3/8 inch stencil brush from JRV, adding numbers along the right upper hand corner of all of these drawers. To cut out a little craft paper and put them into the apothecary drawer pulls. I think it adds a good finished look. The smaller shelving unit got a JRV stencil as well along the side. I distressed that back and then sealed it with a little wax to make sure it would stay put. This small shelving unit also got some casters. These are just cheaper plastic casters from Ace Hardware, but I'm going to give them a special added touch with some Rust-Oleum Modern Masters Rust Patina paint. It is a 3-step process. It needs a little dry time in between, but I let them dry while I worked on other things. The first step of the paint is a primer coat. Then you'll put on the oxidizing metal paint, and then you will spray it with a rust activating spray. The final touch on this little guy were some metal accent pieces I pulled off of an old vintage trunk. The pieces got a little bent out of shape, so I used my vice grip and molded them to fit back onto the corners and used some screws to secure them. I love the detail that these little metal accents add and make a uniqueness to my pieces. And how about a final look at these pieces? I listed this 6-drawer dresser for $225. It sold in my booth within a day. I guess it's time to make another one pretty similar. What do y'all think of this crisp, clean, white farmhouse dresser? I sure do love the way it turned out. Leave me a comment down below. Do you like it, or is it a little boring for your taste? I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and drop me a comment down below. Let me know that you like these furniture videos and that you want to see more. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Till next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye, friends. You can turn this piece horizontally and vertically. Maybe. Down, 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 down. Oh, there it goes.